Self-Love is the New Sexy, the podcast devoted to helping you overcome life's most painful and stubborn challenges so you can feel great, have more energy, and live stress-free every day. To reach your full potential, simply work with the powerful spiritual principles that are readily accessible to everyone. It's easier than you think, and on today's show, W. Mark Watts is going to show you how starting with self-love is the key to joyously and harmoniously making that happen.
Hey everybody, this is W. Mark Watts. Welcome and thank you for hanging out with me for another episode of Self-Love is the New Sexy. And today's episode is going to be quick. It is entitled Lean on Your Support System. Lean on your support system. Now, I've talked about this some in the past, which is one of the reasons why I'm going to make this one short and sweet, but it was on my heart to just kind of emphasize that point, particularly because, again, there's a time right now in my life as me and my former spouse deal with and manage and work with our son on some issues that we're all dealing with at the moment. And then two, because for some reason my editing or my recording and editing software has been on the fritz a little bit. So I apologize in advance if this episode is not as clear as maybe it has been in the past. But I think a combination of that and my computer's been acting a little weird lately. I may just have to go ahead and get a new laptop and update the software so I can start fresh. But anyway, there's several reasons why I want to make this short, but it's the point. I don't want to belabor the point. I want it to be clear. You know, we're all social creatures. We are better when we work with other people, when we work together, when we commune, when we connect, when we bond, when we share, when we love and help and serve. You know, that's who we are at our essence. So whenever we're going through something, whenever life challenges us, whenever we're, sick, whenever we're confused, hurt, whatever the case may be, even when we're happy, and things are going really well, we still always need to connect. Now, I understand that there are times in life when you may not be as well connected as you once were. That's me at various points of my life, but I've never been one to really have a large group of friends at any one given time anyway. I mean, I know a lot of people, but my circle is fairly tight. And so that's what I want to speak on a little bit, is that I always know that as I travel down this road, I continue my journey, when I go through things, I know there's a strong circle of people that I can always connect with and rely on and go to when I need a thought, or when I just need someone to listen, or when I need some advice, and especially, and even in good times when I just want to hang out. There's a certain group of people that come to mind, and they're all my college buddies. Met them all freshman year when I attended Clemson University way back in the day. And we're all still very tight to this day, some 30 years post graduation, or post when we met. Some of them I met when I was 15, and the other ones I met when I was 17. So we've been really tight. We just have strong bonds. And so when I go through things, I always know that I need to reach out, and I will reach out to them. Now, that hasn't always been my strong suit, because I've been one to internalize things. So I wonder if any of you have been guilty of doing that at any point in your life. When you start to, it's a protective mechanism, right? It's not something that we plan to do on purpose. It's the way our body is designed to manage pain. When it understands that you've been hurt, when it feels that things aren't going right in your life, it has built-in protection mechanisms in place which start to shut down to keep you from maybe going back in that same direction or doing that same thing again. And oftentimes we hold that stuff in because we think it's bad. We think we don't want anyone to know that we've made these mistakes, or we've done these things, or we've had these thoughts. So what do? We bury them. We kind of bury them. And over time, that stuff builds up. and it creates even bigger problems. It can create even bigger problems in our life simply because we made the decision to try and hide, not discuss, ask for help, share those things that scare us or bother us or concern us. And so I've worked really hard, in particular, I would say over the last 10 to 15 years, to not be that person anymore, to not bury those things, to share my thoughts, to be there more for my friends and my family. And I can tell you, it was scary at first because I have been so used to not doing that or doing that sporadically, but I can tell you it has paid huge dividends to really open myself up even more, to be more vulnerable. I mean, I share more with you guys in probably a year's time than I've shared probably the first 30 some odd years of my life. I mean, I was always that regarded, always kept things to myself. I'd only trust certain parts of my life with certain people, with a handful of people, and so like Dr. Phil says, how's that working out for you? Well, it gets you to a certain point, but you have to grow. And so the spiritual journey that we're all on, whether we label that way or not, requires that you stretch and you grow. And that was my commitment to myself, is that, hey, this life is calling me to change and to grow and to stretch and do new things and do things better than the way I've done them in the past, and learn new methodologies, and look at things from different angles, and then share that, open yourself up. And I can tell you, even though my major breakup of over 3 years ago, or right around 3 years ago, helped me continue that process of fully opening myself up, so that not only am I sharing more, but I'm receiving more, and I'm being more connected. And that is one of the benefits that, of course, I didn't see at the time, but I understand now because I've given it time and I continue to work. So if you think that you don't have that support system, believe me, that support system is there. People like myself are out there. There's numbers that you can call. And, oftentimes I think we overlook some of the people that we can connect with that may be one or two people removed from us. Start to really think about people who would be willing to listen or be that shoulder, or who can offer that advice. In particular, that oftentimes people who tell you, hey, call me, text me, reach out if you need to talk, if you need some help. Many times we take that for granted, or we think, oh, no, I don't want to bother that person, or that person's not going to be there. Those might be some of the people who will be some of the best listeners, who might have some of the best advice, who will have some of the strongest shoulders, who may share some of the same experiences that you shared, that you can connect with. There's no accidents in this universe. People come into your lives for reasons. You come into their lives for reasons and seasons. So think hard, especially when times are tough. But not only when times are tough, but again, I want you to understand too, when things are going well, be sure to connect with people, to share in your wins, your happiness, so that people can see the full you. We don't only want to see when things are tough. We also want to see those wins, no matter how small they are. Share all that stuff, stay connected, support people. And as long as you use that system, connected with that support system, it's a lot easier to get through these things. We all have those tough moments, those tough hours, tough days, tough weeks. And we need to really go to certain places. And of course, you're always connected to God, source, universe, the divine. So that's always something that you rely on each and every day. However, we're in this life with other humans because we're designed to connect. We're all one. We're all part of each other. And it's better, it's easier, it enhances this experience when you connect, allow others to serve you, you serve other people, and we continue that trend and that chain. So I'm going to end there. Just remember, you've got a support system. It might not be obvious in some instances, but look, ask the universe, who can I talk to? Who can I go to? Who can I help? Who can I connect with? Who can I serve? And the answers will come to you. And once the answers come to you, connect with them. Share your life. You're not alone. This is, we're so much better when we're all together, loving and connected. All right. Be good, everybody. Talk with you again soon. Bye now.
You've been listening to Self-Love is the New Sexy with W. Mark Watts. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to tell a friend. Also, make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to our show on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you listen to podcasts.